Welcome to Santos Brothers Eat, Food Worth Mentioning.
Where Chef Jeff and his brother Kenny talk about their amazing adventures eating and tasting food that is so incredible, they have got to just share it with the world.
My mouth is salivating already.
All right, so this is Kenny Santos for Santos Brothers Eats. I'm here with my brother Chef Jeff Santos, and together we are your very favorite Filipino foodies, where we talk about food that is worth mentioning. And just to remind everyone, Jeff, when we say food worth mentioning, what are we talking about?
We mean that food that, that you savor, that you hear a lot about, but when you look at it and you taste it, your mouth waters. And we don't want to hear about like big brand names. We want mom and pop shops. We want independent little food trucks, restaurants, that really have a passion for the food. Those chefs and even non-chefs that like good food, like preparing it, like sharing it with others, whether it be food that you want to make or eat, or even try out yourself. That's what we mean by food worth mentioning.
Excellent. And just, Jeff, as you're moving your hands, or you are moving your microphone, I can see there, so just be careful. It didn't interfere with the sound, but I do want to kind of mention that because it might in the future. And so when Jeff says food worth mentioning, it could be like the trend that we see on Blog TO. Oftentimes there's a lot of food trends when food truck festivals open up, or the CNE has that must-eat food. Remember that Cronut Burger came out, and all that came out. So, that's what we talk about when we talk about food worth mentioning. And this week, we are going to be talking about something that I kind of stumbled upon during one of my walks. And so this was during Good Friday, and I am a Catholic-raised Buddhist. And on Good Friday, actually, most Fridays, we're not supposed to eat meat, right? Oh. So I did that for Good Friday just because I decided I'm going to do that on Good Friday just as long as my mother is alive. Right, she's a practicing Catholic, and I just decided I'm not going to eat meat on Good Friday. It's one day out of the whole year that I don't have, that I can't eat meat. So I thought I would observe that, and that was interesting because I was out for a walk and I stumbled upon something that made me kind of regret a little bit that I gave up meat on that day. So I do want to share this with you. And so, am I doing a screen share? Here we go. It should be here. There. So this is at the corner. You can see that, right, Jeff? Just making sure.
Yep, all good.
Yeah. So this is at the corner of Brimley and Lawrence. And so just to remind, it's going to be on the southeast corner. There used to be a Tim Hortons there that turned into some other coffee shop that ended up going, I don't know, they ended up closing down. And I think it turned into a coffee time that closed down. And now that particular location is now a cannabis shop. I think it's called Growers Retail, I think that's what it's called. And
there's so many out there, but let's go on.
It's right behind there. And then this is right behind Growers Retail. So they share the same parking lot. And I saw, wow, Carne Cartel chain smoker, a little trailer here. And they even have a little picnic area. And I don't know if you can see, there's a speaker here. And they were just, putting out some really fun sounds. I thought, this is kind of like a fun thing. And I thought to myself, carne, and you may have heard of carne asada. What does carne mean, Jeff?
It means meat, right? That's all it means, or does it mean beef?
I think it means meat. Those of you I think it's Spanish, right? And so those of you that speak Spanish, maybe you guys could let us know. Does it mean beef or meat? I guess we could always look
I think it means, because when you think of chili con carne, so I guess it does mean beef.
Okay, yeah. So something to think about. So, but I knew that. I was like, wow, probably not going to be able to get some vegetables here. I was like, well, maybe they have vegetables.
Maybe, but push it to the side, and that's it.
Absolutely. And they are pretty smart. If you look at the picture here, right? Maybe you can get closer. Can I get closer? Yeah, there's a little bit closer. They have a little seating area, picnic tables and stuff like that. Yeah. And they don't have a chalkboard menu, which I'm so used to seeing at like a food truck, right? Yeah. What do they have instead? They have the QR code. Yes. They got the QR code. So really simple. And it makes it easy for them if they just want to change the menu on the fly. They just got to put it up on the computer. They have to write it up on anywhere. Because let's face it, anyone that's going to buy from them is probably going to have a smartphone, right? Yeah. Or if they don't have a smartphone, they're with someone that has a smartphone. It's very rare that we're going to find someone that doesn't have it. And so I was actually looking at their menu. This is their menu, carnecartel.ca. This is what you'll get when you get to their, if you load up their QRC. And so they have You know, the menu, they have Santos, which means sandwiches, Lola's Inisal, so you can tell there's a Filipino influence. Jeff, do
Yeah.
you remember what Inisal means or no? Do you remember? Because I remember.
Um, I forget. What does it mean?
Inisal is a style of cooking. Often it's chicken.
Okay.
So it is, although I was talking to mom and she said we probably haven't had it. So it's popular, but not popular enough that we've eaten it, Jeff. So there's
Oh,
something to think about. And then pretty short menu here. They got some
that's good.
sandwiches, Lola's in the
Yeah.
Sal. They got some beverages. Those are all like not fountain. There's this, bottled soda, pop, bottled
Hmm.
water, and then they got fries, which is basically different types of quote unquote poutine sort of thing, right? You just get
Yeah.
basic fries for $5 or fries done up. But I'm looking at this menu and I was like, oh, I can't eat anything here. And I zeroed into item number 4. What's item number 4? Can you see it, Jeff, or want me to read it?
Oh, it's eat my eggplant.
Eat
Interesting.
my eggplant, crispy battered eggplant, freshly baked bread with kimchi, cucumbers, sweet onion, cilantro, chili mayo, and garlic mayo. And I thought to
Wow.
myself, now did I
Yeah.
know that I told you I went to this place. Did I tell you what I ate though, Jeff?
No, you didn't. You just teased me with where you went to. Okay.
Yeah, so this is, and I was like, well, I can't really you know what? I did look, and I can get their fries done up. It looks like because they're crispy fries. They come with a chili aioli, a garlic
Mhm.
aioli, furikake, crispy garlic, scallions, and pickled red chilies. So I guess I could have gotten that as well, or
Yeah.
instead. For those of now, Jeff, furikake is one of my favorite things. Do you remember what furikake is, Jeff?
Oh, there's too many jokes, but what does furry cocky mean?
I know it is sound funny, doesn't it? It's like
It
furry
does.
cocky. Are you like insulting me? What is it?
Yeah.
Furry cocky. I got introduced to this by watching a show called Good Eats with
Alton
Alton
Brown.
Brown, and he
Okay.
was just talking about popcorn. And he was like, the 3 favorite things he likes to put on his popcorn are basically cheese powder,
Okay.
which kind of threw me off. I was like, I like cheese, but I didn't expect him to say that.
Yeah.
And then what is it called? Is it called nutritional yeast, Jeff? What's that yeast called?
Oh, yeah. Nutritional yeast. So
Yeah.
it's is it cheese flavored too, or something similar to cheese? I think, or I could be
Apparently,
wrong.
it is a saltiness, but a lot of people compare it to. There's a feeling of beer, but it's not bitter, which kind of
Okay.
makes sense because like the fermenting of beer and yeast kind of there's a certain
Yes, a
togetherness that goes
similarity.
there. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm looking for. Similarity, and then he said furikake. And basically, furikake is a Japanese rice seasoning. It has nori in it. It has toasted sesame seeds in it. It has all these
Oh,
Japanese flavoring in it.
okay.
And often, and
I
there's
think I know what
often
you
little
mean now.
sweetness. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, when you
Okay.
see it, like sometimes you'll just see them at sushi restaurants, and you see this the sushi chef sprinkle it on the rolls.
Yes.
And when I saw furikake, I was like, oh wow, fries with furikake sounds really really good. But you know me, I like to walk and eat. And
Yeah.
so I thought, I don't want to have these fries. I want to be able to walk and eat. So I thought, okay, I'm going to have the Eat My Eggplant. It's Good Friday. And
Hmm.
I remember the guy, he was one of the owners I found out. He says, what do you want? And this place was pretty empty at the time. As you can see, there's hardly anyone there. It's a Good Friday. They're open for business. And I said, you know what? It's Good Friday. I can't eat meat. Do you have the eggplant? And he said, I sure do have the eggplant. And I said, well, I'll have one of those. And I'll tell you, let me just see if I can get a picture of this. Do I have a picture? Boom. So
Oh,
there's the
wow.
eggplant. When you say, oh, wow, Jeff, for those that can't see, what
Yeah.
makes you say, wow? What do you
A,
see
it's
there?
the size of it. Now, are those the eggplant, the main, I guess, pieces of meat, the two oblong objects
Yeah,
in the
those
fork?
are eggplants. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Because they don't look like eggplant, but they're battered though, right? Is
those are
that what it
battered.
says?
Those are battered, and they're the
Okay.
Asian eggplants, so the long ones.
Yes.
Right? The long ones. You can actually see right here. You can see a little bit of the purple kind of peeking through. You see
Okay.
that,
That's where it is. Yeah.
right?
So
And
now I see
so
it.
these are the longer Asian eggplants versus what I guess Italian or I don't know what
Yeah.
the fatter ones.
The fatter
And
ones. Yeah.
yeah, Jeff, as a chef, is there a different flavor profile between those two, or what's the real difference between those
Yeah. So the Italian ones, the larger ones, they're a bit more bitter
two? Yeah,
than the Asian ones.
yeah.
Yeah, they're just a bit more bitter. That's why particularly you have eggplant, you usually slice it thin, let it dry out for a bit. You don't salt them; you just let it dry out, and then that way it takes care of some of the bitterness.
And definitely cooked them, right?
Yes.
because
Yeah.
if you try to have a raw eggplant, it will taste bitter and it's very
Oh yeah,
unpleasant. Yeah.
for sure.
So, as they were making it, he was just like, I was just starting to drool. Like he started putting, I wish I actually took a video, because what they do when they're making the food is they actually put it on this cutting board right in front of the window, and they just start dressing it up.
Oh
And
wow.
while my eggplant was being fried, I think someone had called in an order, because you could just kind of pre-order it, and he was making the fries done up. I said, what is that? And he said he was a jerk fries, right?
Okay.
And I was just watching him make it. I thought, wow, I got to get one of some of these fries next time. And
Yes.
so super, I'll tell you that this. Oh, I got to go back to the pictures here. This sandwich, first of all, when he put that lid back on, it was looked like it was going to fall apart. This because it was
Right.
like the eggplant is so thick, right? And he just wrapped it up really tight and gave it to me. And I said, I don't need a bag because I am walking and eating this. It's just outside of Thompson Park. I walked there through the park, and I walked this back into the park, and I ate it, and it was absolutely incredible. I'm giving it
Nice.
maybe a strong 8.5 out of 10. It is
All right.
really,
Cool.
really good. And, it's so tasty. Everything about it. The kimchi wasn't too spicy, so I think you'd like it, Jeff.
Nice. All right.
The chili aioli, which is on top here, was really good. But the garlic aioli, I was lucky enough to see him. I guess the squirt bottle that he was using had run out, and so he was filling it back up.
Right.
And this garlic aioli, like you would expect it to kind of be a little thin, maybe a little bit thinner than regular mayonnaise. It was thicker than regular mayonnaise. It had like the consistency of like vanilla pudding. Like it was just,
Oh, that is
it was,
thick.
it looked so good as he was scooping it into that thing and then putting it. I think it was underneath the vegetables here. The vegetables were
Okay.
good. Everything was pickled. Everything was flavorful.
Nice.
Cilantro. If you're allergic to, yeah, I guess it's allergic to cilantro, because if you find cilantro to taste soapy, then don't have that on there.
No.
Everything about this was a perfect sandwich. I guess the only thing that isn't perfect was it just wasn't meat, right?
No, that's a
And
thing.
I still gave it a strong 8.5 because it was so tasty. And if I had, let's say, like, it was almost as good as like if it was like a fried fish. Like it was just everything
Oh.
about it. Everything, like they cooked it perfectly. When you have greasy fried food and it's just
Oh yeah.
floating, this
Yeah.
was
Exactly right.
perfectly cooked. Everything about it was
Nice.
perfectly cooked. He wrapped it up real tight, and I told him, I said, "Listen, I'm coming back. Listen, I'm coming back because I want to see what this tastes like." So, I want to look at the menu here, Jeff.
Okay.
What kind of attracts you here? Have a chance to look it over. But what
Let's see.
gives you
Beef brisket. More beef brisket halal jerk it. Um,
anything?
maybe the cowboy looks good, and maybe
Yeah,
the chicken and rice.
the chicken and rice. Interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
So the K-pop doesn't attract you?
Not really. For
That
me, no.
surprises me.
Yeah.
Really, you don't like bulgogi
Well,
sauce? 'Cause I know
I
you
do,
like
but I
that
think
stuff.
you know what? I would get the K-pop, but maybe ask for the kimchi on the side because I'm not a big
Ah,
kimchi fan myself.
that'll
So
do it. Okay,
yeah.
that'll do it. Yeah. So I do want to try the K-pop sando.
Mhm.
And then of course the chicken and rice. What attracts you about that chicken and rice, Jeff?
I've always been a big chicken and rice fan. I know just something
Yeah.
about those good ingredients, and it is double leg. So that's one thing about chicken. I prefer the dark meat over the white meat.
Oh,
So that is
absolutely.
one thing. So yeah.
I think Jeff's the same way as he. I haven't eaten in Swiss LA for years, but when I go to Swiss LA, I always get the double leg dinner. Is that what you get,
Oh
Jeff?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Double legs all the way.
I don't even
That's the
bother with
thing.
their ribs. Like I don't even know if their ribs taste good. Like I just get the
They're
double leg.
okay, but
Yeah,
they're just you're there for the chicken. You
yeah.
know, that's it.
So yeah, interesting. So the chicken and rice, if you look, it's actually just like the fries done up, except it's rice. So it has the furikake on it. It has, the chili and garlic aioli, the crispy garlic, the
No,
scallions. So it's almost the same thing,
I think
kind
it
of
is.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that looks pretty good. The burger steak is very, it's kind of Filipino-ish. When you
Yeah,
look
has a
at it,
fried egg
it does
there.
have a fried egg, kind of nice, and it comes with rice. So this is oh wow. So this is not a sandwich, right? Because Lola's in is all
No.
in a plate,
Yeah,
and so
you're
it's
right.
rice done up as well. Actually, I might want to try that because the rice done up with a fried egg on top sounds pretty good. Now that I think of it,
Yeah.
yeah. And then I would try the Cape Pop fries. And the jerk it, I'm just not into too spicy,
No.
so don't
Yeah.
want to
I
get
think
that.
I would have everything except for the jerk it.
Yeah, yeah, just try it out
That's
here.
probably it.
Here's the location. Interesting, they're closed Mondays and Tuesdays. They're on Brimley
Hmm.
Road here. You can order it online. And I do want to have a peek at their Instagram. And what's interesting, if you kind of scroll down their Instagram, there's a lot of things that used to be on their menu that that isn't there anymore. I can't
Yeah.
find it anymore. And so I was talking to the owner there, and what's interesting is they have been there since December. And yeah, it's many
Huh.
cold months out there. And I was
Yeah.
just like, was business good? I said, business was okay. And like, even on those cold months, we got some business, but things are really picking up. And I told them, I hope business really does well for you there.
Yeah. There we
And
go. Look
so
at that.
I'm just there. They are just kind of grilling up. Those of you that can't see, they're
Hmm.
frying on the flat top. They're just it's Filipino food and halal, which is kind of neat
Yep.
and just delicious. And so this place is something that I definitely need to recommend.
Yeah.
And I
So
really think it's
yeah.
worth a special trip. Go ahead, Jeff.
So out of curiosity, if you go back to the main picture where their little cart was, I noticed that the building, the garage, also had their name on it. Um, so if you go back to your picture,
Yeah, yeah. Why can't I
so I don't know if
close
you had a
that again?
chance to ask what was there. Is that just their storage maybe, or like I'm surprised they don't use that as the main. Yeah,
I,
to the
I
left
don't
there.
know. Yeah, I saw that on the left and I wondered about that. I should ask them next time I go.
Yeah.
And I should ask them why aren't they going to Streeties? Like I don't know why like they have their
Hmm.
own place or they just don't want the competition. Or maybe you know what? They're already paying rent here and they don't want to pay rent at Streeties.
Yeah.
Could be
Yeah,
something
because
as simple as that.
they already have that brick and mortar thing right beside them. So yeah,
Yeah.
things
Like
to
who
ask.
knows? Yeah, they might have fridges in there like for extra food.
No.
Like that might be
Yeah.
easy for them, because in a food truck, like you have limited supply, and it's
Oh
hard
yeah.
to unless you have an extra body to go out and like go grocery shopping. You're kind of
Hmm.
stuck. But here, like you know what, if you need a bucket full of that sauce was so good. They probably just jump
Yeah.
in there and get it out of the fridge, sort of thing. So definitely, definitely good. Now, Jeff, is this a place that you'd like to visit?
Oh yeah. I
Yeah,
think I
a place
would.
that you'd like to go.
It
Yeah.
looks good. It has a little bit of Filipino flavor.
Hmm.
Yeah, like I said, I think I'd had everything except for anything with the jerk sauce on it. Or
Yeah.
if that's a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So now I do want to say that, Jeff, that there is a part two to all of this.
Okay.
And so we will get to part two after the break. Sound fair, Jeff?
Can't wait to hear it.
All right. So we are back from our break, and we were just talking about this place called the Carne Cartel. And I
Hmm.
stumbled upon this, as we know, on Good Friday. And the only thing that I could eat, or I could eat the fries, right? The fries
Yeah.
done up, or the eat my eggplant. I sat on the eat my eggplant because I wanted to walk and eat. But that was Friday, Good Friday. And I was thinking about this place. I ended up going there on Saturday too, Jeff.
Nice. All right.
Yes. Ended up
So,
going there on Saturday. And I was really set on getting the fries. I was going to get the fries done up and maybe the K-pop sandwich, right? That would have been
okay.
a pretty hefty meal.
Yeah.
And man, it looked good. Except he brought out this dish that he was making for someone else. And
Okay.
I said, "What on earth is that?" And he says,
All
"Oh,
right.
this is the double leg. This is the double leg chicken and rice." And he says, "This one's a little different because it has this mushroom gravy on top." And I just said, "I'll take that. I'm taking that double leg." I had the double leg, and I was thinking to myself, "I'm gonna have the fries. Of course I can't walk and eat. I didn't want to eat there, but I did end up thinking to myself, I'm gonna take whatever I eat and go into Thompson Park and eat in the park at a picnic table. So
Nice.
that sort of thing. I got some of their bottled soda,
Okay.
Barbican. They have pomegranate, pineapple, and something else. Pomegranate, pineapple.
Oh,
I
that's a
don't
good
know.
choice of flavors.
there's another flavor. There's a third flavor. I ended up getting the pineapple.
Okay.
All right, and I'm getting the pineapple and the chicken and rice. And so, what's nice is that he actually asked me. I said, "Do you want the gravy?" He said, "Do you want the gravy?" And I just said, "Do you suggest the gravy?" And he hesitated. He's like, "Oh, I don't know." Okay. And just with his hesitation, I just said, "If you're hesitating, you're the chef. I'm not going to have it." He says, "That's a good choice." He says, "You know what? This is a customer that always asks for this, but I don't think it goes well. Like, the way that
Yeah.
lemongrass marinade goes,
Hmm.
and it's a sweet soy, and the gravy is savory. And
Yeah. Oh, I
the
see.
Santos,
Yeah.
yeah, Santos Bros, we love sweet. We love sweet in our meats. And so I said, okay, no gravy, no gravy. I'm listening to you. And my goodness, so tasty. There we go. Oh, is that them making it here? And so here
Okay.
they are. They're dressing it up.
Ooh, chilies.
Oh, yeah, whoops, there we go. So that's my meal there that they're dressing up there. And as we're talking, I mean, it's a very generous portion. For those of you that
Yep.
aren't watching, Jeff, about how big do you think that portion is? Like in inches or ounces or whatever, however you
Well, you
want.
got to think too. If you're having double leg,
Yeah.
then that is two chicken and legs and thighs, correct?
Those were 2 legs, 2 thighs.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So right away, that is a lot of meat.
Hmm.
So I'd say that's what 8 inch square by 8 inch square, roughly.
Yeah. 8 inch. And it's a very, very generous portion of
At
rice.
least an inch deep, maybe inch and a half. I
Oh,
can't tell from here.
easily over an inch deep with those two chicken legs on top of that. Absolutely spectacular that I had that to eat. And then let me just do one. Oh, that's not the wrong part here. So, what? Hold on a second. There we go. And so this is the finished product. What do you think of
Oh,
that, Jeff?
beautiful. I look at
Yeah,
the color.
everything about it, the color, very generous. They couldn't even put the top on this. They actually had to mash this down, right? They had to
Nice.
mash that down. And then there's the angle with the
Oh, there it
pineapple
is.
soda. I'm
Yeah,
giving
yeah.
this, man, it's tough for me to give a 9. It's tough, but everything about it was good. Every single thing.
Okay.
That meat was, fall off the bone good. They must have par cooked it. They must have like
Oh, yeah.
boiled it. Oh, I hear a little music in the background. There we go.
Sorry, sorry,
Stop.
sorry.
No problem.
Yeah.
They must have par cooked it, that chicken a little bit because
Oh,
it came
yeah.
out pretty quickly. So it was probably marinated in that lemongrass marinade with the sweet soy and maybe even boiled in that because the
Hmm.
flavor was just infused into that chicken and then he put it on like
Yeah.
a flat top. The rice was so good. Everything in it. There's plenty of furikake in it, plenty of flavorings and seasoning is so good. And you know what? I know I keep talking about furikake, but if you just go to a Asian grocery store, it might be in the Asian section of like a no frills, but go to an Asian grocery store, pick up a little jar of furikake. It's going to be between $3 and $4, and try it on your rice or try it on your popcorn like Alton Brown, and you'll never go back. It's so good. That stuff is amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, and so it was super yummy, and I'm so glad that I had that. And so
Nice.
everything, I was licking my fingers. Like everything about it was so good. And what I should have done was the first piece of chicken. I just kind of ate it like a piece of fried chicken, right? And then I looked and I thought, oh, I could scrape this chicken into the rice and then kind of like a chicken fried rice sort of thing, and then just
Yeah.
kind of
Make a
eat off
mixture.
the bones. So that's what I ended up doing, and it was wow. It was just a really really good meal. I have to give it a little bit higher. I'll give it a 9 just because I gave the other one 8.5 and I want to give this one higher. So I'll give it a 9,
Okay.
and
Nice.
I am definitely going back. I highly suggest that chicken. Super, super
Okay.
duper. Highly suggest the chicken. So again, this place is called the Carne Cartel at Brimley and Lawrence. You've got to try it. Super fun owners.
So, quick
Looks like,
question. So,
yeah,
can you see it off Brimley better than Lawrence? Is that if I had to
easily. You
guess?
could easily see it
Okay.
off of, yeah, it's much easier to see it off of Brimley other than Lawrence.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's right. It's almost right on the corner there.
All right.
It is kind of hidden a little bit from
Yeah.
Lawrence, which is a
Now, were
shame.
they playing music on the Saturday as well, or just the Friday?
Oh, there is music. There is
Okay.
music.
All right.
Yeah,
That's good to
and
hear.
so more of a like kind of like a smooth hip hop vibe. Yeah, and The chef recognized me on day 2.
I was going to say, yeah.
And then, but then there was 2 workers there, and I was just like, I guess they were picking up on how excited I was about everything. And it's like, is this your first time here? I said, no. I told them the whole story. I was like, I was here yesterday, but I wanted the meat. Had to have the eggplant, and I came back to have the double leg. Super tasty. Definitely recommend it. So happy that I went, and so happy that I could share it with everyone on the podcast. Do you have any other questions, Jeff?
So, because they're called chain smokers, I'm guessing maybe the chicken was smoked.
You know what?
And then grilled.
It may have been. That is true. I wonder why they didn't mention it. It doesn't say smoked, you know? It doesn't say that, but it's just
I'm just guessing because I'm just guessing about that.
Yeah.
So halal beef chuck patties. Okay.
Yeah, that chicken is so good.
Yeah. Okay.
It's sweet. Everything about it, like you'd like it, Jeff, and it's not too spicy. Right.
Cool.
Not too spicy. Yeah. Yeah. So
I have a question again.
It. Yeah.
With the QRC, it's just the menu. Can you actually order from there as well, or just see the menu, or a bit of both?
No, because it goes straight to this page. So I don't know how to. It says order online. I don't think those people are using Uber Eats or DoorDash, but there's a phone number here. If you just want to order ahead, I would just call.
Yeah, order ahead.
Order ahead. That way, I mean, there wasn't a wait for me, but what I'm hoping this place during the summer just gets some spectacular business. I just hope that they have to put in more tables and everything. Because I mean, if they were doing this good during cold weather, imagine what they're going to do during warmer weather. And I hope that works out for them. Super friendly people. I like everything about it. So yeah. So that was this week's food worth mentioning, the Carne Cartel. And if you're getting value from this podcast, if you're liking our recommendations and you're going to try them out, or if you just getting entertained with how we're talking about how much we love the food, then what we invite you to do is to either like, subscribe, share, comment. It is a super easy way and a simple way to support our podcast and to do so for free. Isn't that right, Jeff?
That is correct. And also, if you have any suggestions for any place that you want us to try or any recipes that you want me to make as well, please do so in the comments. And then remember this quote from Julia Child: people who love to eat are always the best people.
Yes, and that, of course, includes my brother, Chef Jeff Santos, and I'm his brother, Kenny Santos, and you as well if you love to eat food worth mentioning. All right, thanks a lot, everybody.
All right, take care.
All right, bye-bye.
You've been listening to Santos Brothers Eat.
Food worth mentioning.